Donald Trump has decided that two can play at that game that Attorney General Latisha James up in New York is playing with him. And as her lawsuit against him continues to move forward, even though it's on hold because of a COVID outbreak in the court, Trump has decided that he is now going to sue New York Attorney General Latisha James. And he filed the lawsuit this week in Florida's 15th Judicial Circuit, saying that Letitia James has engaged in a campaign of intimidation and harassment against his poor little company, who, in his words, did nothing wrong. Except, of course, all the things that you guys are currently on trial for. I mean, those things you definitely did wrong. Your CFO pleaded guilty, so you did something wrong. But Donald Trump is actually furious right now because Attorney General Latisha James wants a special monitor put in place by the courts to monitor this new trust fund that Donald Trump has put together. Basically, they're calling it Trump Organization 2. And yeah, he registered that down here in Florida. And Letitia James says, hold up, court. We would like somebody to kind of look into this thing, to watch what happens with it, to make sure, basically, that Trump's not taking all of his money out of the Trump Organization that we're suing and just moving it to the new company, which, by the way, is something major corporations in the United States do all the time when they're facing massive lawsuits that could end up resulting in their company losing billions of dollars. Trump's not going to lose billions, but he could lose millions. And so, after her lawsuit was announced, they set up Trump Organization 2 in Florida, not in New York. And Trump says, you have no jurisdiction over this new entity I have created. I'll explain why that's pretty stupid in just a moment, but let me read what Donald Trump said on Truth Social after he sued the New York Attorney General. Crooked and highly partisan James now thinks it is the business of the state of New York to go after my revocable trust and pry into my private estate plan, only to look for ways to recklessly injure me, my family, my businesses, and my tens of millions of supporters. All right, before I continue, let me just point out something here, Donald. Nothing, not one single thing about anything Letitia James has ever done is about harming your supporters. Okay, she's not suing them, she's suing you. So that's a pretty stupid thing to say, as is every other word that you put in that Truth Social post. If I were not elected president of the United States and now leading in the polls by substantial margins against both Democrats and Republicans, this would not be happening. Actually, it would. Your company still did the things. They actually did the things that they're accused of, allegedly, because you haven't been convicted. Those things happened before you were president. And eventually, they would have caught on to you. Maybe it wouldn't be happening right now, but eventually those chickens would be coming home to roost. Now, here's why it's stupid. Obviously, Trump filed this lawsuit in the state of Florida saying, you have no jurisdiction over it. You can't touch my revocable trust. Actually, she can. You see, what's happening is all your money is up in New York, where she does have jurisdiction. So it is within her rights to tell the judge, listen, we're coming after their money that's in New York, where I have jurisdiction, and we don't want them to move it down to Florida. So you see, Donald, if you were to put money that you, found on the street into that trust down in Florida, she wouldn't have jurisdiction over it necessarily. But if you want to move money across state lines, out of her state and into another, she 100% can look at that. That's how that works. And that's why, of course, it is so shocking to me that this lawsuit hasn't already been laughed out of court. I know it's only been filed for, 36 hours, but it still should have immediately been tossed, right? When he handed it to the court, the clerk of the court, they should have looked at it and said, okay, well, thanks. I'm going to go file this in the shredder. We appreciate your time. Please get out of my office. That's what should have happened immediately. And I have no doubt that eventually it will, because you can't sue a law enforcement officer for investigating you. You can't sue a law enforcement official which is what Letitia James is, for asking a court to monitor something when she hasn't even been granted that yet. Like, she hasn't won. So this lawsuit has no actual grievance. There's no actual injury. So forget the whole jurisdiction thing. With no injury, the lawsuit itself cannot actually exist. So I'm just counting the moments until the court finally laughs at Donald Trump and throws this lawsuit in the trash. Hey everyone, this is Aspen. And did you know that for the low cost of $0 per day, you can subscribe to the Fair and Balanced YouTube channel. We also encourage you to like, comment, and share, but again, click that subscribe button and help Aspen not be so grumpy.